Greetings, Algo artisans. We're going to talk about Parcl today. This is a crypto that allows you to speculate on real estate electronically, right? So you don't have to actually buy the real estate. You can speculate. We're going to take a look at what it is. We're going to take a look at what we think it's going to do. We're going to start in the charts right now. Okay, so right into the charts. This is Parcl against Tether on KuCoin. I'm going to jump to a higher time frame here. There's actually not a lot of history to look at. Okay, so Parcl just hit most exchanges 30 hours ago, something like that. It just went through the usual jitters. It bottomed out at about 45 cents, made its way up to about 62 cents. So that's actually a 50% gain. And then now it deflated, having bottomed out yet again around 45 cents, a little bit higher than before, and it looks like price is about to stabilize. Now, of course, this hit the exchanges during a little bit of a tougher time in this bull cycle, right? We have the Bitcoin pullbacks, we have a lot of altcoins selling off, and also there was an airdrop. There was a big airdrop with Parcl, so a lot of people were holding, and then of course when the snapshot was done, a lot of people sold their tokens and price went down, and we'll be able to see that over on CoinMarketCap here in a moment. But the best I can do for you on a chart, really, with something just a day old, is there's not much we can talk about with the price. Okay, we can talk about where the price might go based on market sector, and that's going to happen in CoinMarketCap, and that's actually a pretty big number, you know, based on tokenomics, market sector. However, we do have price at a high of 62 cents, a little above that, and we do have a local high where price did get rejected at 56 cents. So price could make its way up to either of these, and if it were to break through, we might be able to see where it's going to go next. For the meantime, we are looking at this being it. Price is probably going to range until it doesn't, and once it breaks above to that post-listing high, then we can start to kind of take a look at what might happen with it, and by then, we're going to have a lot more data. Again, there's only a day or so's worth of data on the charts, not really enough to use technicals aside from a little bit of price action and basics. So let's just go ahead and focus on what Parcl is, how big we think it could get. So here we are on CoinMarketCap. The market cap is self-reported at this point, I believe, sitting at about $61 million, which is relatively low as cryptos go. The total supply, max supply, is 1 billion. And there is a lot more than $1 billion in real estate out there in the world. In fact, okay, so the total value at the end of 2022 of all the real estate in the world is $379 trillion. So 380 trillion. And just 1% of that is going to be $4 trillion. Trillion, just 1% of that. So in just a crazy world where this crypto somehow got 1% of all real estate, right? I mean, that's a really kind of a high number. I would not expect it to go there. All it would need is 1% of all real estate, and each one of these coins is worth $1,000. I mean, that's crazy. Now, even if it got 0.1% of all of the real estate, now you're looking at a $100 coin. If you got a tenth of that, now you're looking at $10, like 1/100th of all the real estate in the world. So you're looking at some pretty substantial numbers here. Now, of course, and here we are looking at the white paper, and it is a perpetuals exchange designed for real estate synthetics. Okay, so that tells us right there, cross-margin perpetuals trading on various real estate markets. So, and it's synthetic. That means essentially, as far as I know, it's a derivative. And that also means that the numbers could go even higher than we think, because we don't necessarily have to have it assigned to anything in the real world. Now, that does bring some concerns to mind. When you have something that is just tracking real estate prices, all you need is a counterparty to go against you. All you need is people to come in and trade that. Without it having any kind of property to which it's tethered, everybody's basically naked longing and naked shorting. I don't know how this would work, but people love it. People are very interested in this. And maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe the fact that it is synthetic does not mean that it is not tethered to real estate. Over here on the Solana data right here, it says Parcl is a blockchain-based real estate platform that allows users to invest in a digital square foot physical real estate in the most lucrative neighborhoods around the U.S. The Parcl data feed tracks the price per square foot of neighborhoods across the U.S. This data feeds into a smart contract, allowing you to invest in the underlying price movement of each real estate market. Again, that's price movement. So this is essentially a DEX, and you're allowed to trade based on real estate volatility. It gives you a way to have access to price gains in various expensive neighborhoods. Aspen, Colorado, downtown New York, Brickell, wherever it is you like to maybe invest or trade, it's a way to hedge. Pretty interesting concept. And again, if this becomes super popular, maybe a lot of real estate heads like to just do this thing could grow and be rather big. $1 is super reasonable. It's already 50 cents. In this bull market, going to $10, completely reasonable. I think at this point, we're more looking at the possibility of it taking off based on popularity, right? So here's their website, and they have their app right there. April trading contest is live, and you can also be a liquidity provider. So basically what you can do is for their DEX, you're able to provide liquidity, right? There are people who, of course, doing market trades, market in, market out, and you can be the liquidity that allows that to happen. So essentially you can take part in being a market maker, and a lot of people love doing that. You can, when the conditions are safe, when you're confident that your money is safe wherever you put it as far as liquidity provision, a lot of money can be made in a very stable way. You can take really safe bets and you get a certain percentage for the money that you provide as far as liquidity provision. So again, I would want to know a lot more about the engine of this DEX, and I'd want to know a lot more about the contract under which this money is held. And then if I was confident in that, I would look into what they're paying for liquidity provision. Let's go ahead and click on that and see what they're saying. So there's the APR, 30-day returns, 8.37%, 14.9 million locked liquidity. I'd say in this particular market, that is not bad. Again, I would definitely want to understand just what the contracts are. Is this multi-sig? Is it safe? Things like that. But once I understood that, 8% is relatively reasonable. Okay, so as long as you understand the game of liquidity provision, this is an opportunity. Okay, well, this is definitely an interesting opportunity, right? It's a lot of the popularity is going to depend on how liquid the DEX is. I do know a lot of people in crypto who are also very interested in real estate, so I think we're going to see, we'll see this thing go up. $5, very realistic. It's at 50 cents right now. And just by virtue of the bull market, I would not be surprised to see $5. And 10 wouldn't surprise me either. Now to go past 10, I think that would require a lot of adoption, but by virtue of bull market, 5 or 10 by, say, the end of the year is very reasonable. Now, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin did move down, and this move down was actually predicted by myself this morning. Price did go ahead and dip just briefly below 60,000. There was a range that was created here, and let's box this in to see how price might behave. And the reason that I'm looking at this right now is because when we look at altcoins like Parcel or anything else that has a lot of attention and popularity, what Bitcoin is doing and will do has a lot to do with the price movement of such a coin. Now, Parcel itself, like we saw, it was just kind of consolidating after a listing. So in order for it to go up, I think that Bitcoin might need to be pretty strong. But it might be because we're seeing post-listing jitters that Parcel could be compressed into an area where there's not a lot of movement, and it might not be just a bad one to pick up. I would look for Bitcoin to be done falling before I picked up any alts at this point. So what might that look like? And again, this is just a continuation of this morning's show. I think a worst case would be low 50s. That could happen. The algos on the screen now are relatively bearish, so it does seem as if price does have the ability to continue to go down. Now, it could be that the market makers want to hold price up at the current level. However, price is rather bearish. I do expect some kind of compression before price heads back up, and I think once it does head back up, it'll probably stay within this range that was already created. So essentially what I'm expecting is a liquidity grab. Okay, so we are looking at the Kingfisher.io, and I'm seeing liquidity mostly above price. You do have a little bit down at about 58,000, a decent amount at 53,400. So let's mark those out. These two lines are liquidity to downside, and as of now, it does appear that price wants to head to the downside. However, price is at a historical support. We do have areas where price moved up in the past, right where price is right now. So there could be some bulls jump in and push price back up. And if it were to go back up immediately into this consolidation, where would it go? We have a lot of liquidity sitting at 64,250 and right at 70,000. So I got those marked out on the chart, and if price were to reverse back up, it would head to one or both of these yellow lines, and if it were to head down, it would head to one or both of these yellow lines. And any move down in Bitcoin is going to cause move down in altcoins. Well, I know for a fact that until my algos say that price is done heading down for the moment, I'm not interested in picking up any kind of spot alts. But right now, I do think it's pretty reasonable for price to actually head down and grab that 58,000. It almost did a few hours ago. Seems to want to continue to do that. So we're going to keep an eye on price. In the meantime, I hope this was helpful. Please come over to algofactory.tech. We teach people people how to build their own trading plan. Now, they don't need to know how to computer code or anything fancy. If they want to computer code, we can show them how to get on the path to doing that so they can actually walk away and let it trade for them. But even if that's not for you, we can help you build a manual trading method, an algorithm. And we have people who are already testing, live testing, some people running live. As a matter of fact, we have some words from one of our clients, Trev. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hey, Cowboy V. I just wanted to give a heartfelt thanks for putting this project together. I initially joined Algo Factory a year ago, concerned about a repeat of the 2008 Great Financial Crisis and the prospect of losing my job again. Within 12 months, under V and Cowboy's expert tuition, including live reviews, I've created a profitable algorithm launched across a selection of assets. Now, facing the prospect of redundancy and a nice fat severance package to trade with, my current worst case scenario is to keep my job. Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate what you've done here.
We do hope to see you over at algofactory.tech. Don't forget, trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll see you on the next one.